Welcome back to St. Pete, everybody, as we get ready for the second game of the series. The Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and certainly the Red Sox looking to bounce back off what was a very difficult loss here last night. And Jerry, while it was a very difficult loss for Grady Little and the Red Sox, on the flip side for Lou Piniella and these Tampa Bay Devil Rays, they are calling this the biggest win in franchise history here last night, even though it was just the first game of the year.
Well, it probably was, Don. I mean, you know, you had a good crowd last night, about 35,000 here. You had Lou Piniella making his Devil Ray debut, and the crowd, you know, it looked like it was a Red Sox win. It was going to be an easy ninth inning, 4-1 win, and same old for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, except they made a comeback, which they haven't done very many times in their career since they've been down here in Tampa Bay. So this place was excited. It was kind of fun going home to watch the news last night. You might have thought the Devil Rays just won the pennant, but good for them. You know, at least it created a little bit of interest anyway for the time being.
And even Lou Piniella, who has been through so many victories and championships as a member of the Yankees, he was still excited, even though it was his very first game here in Tampa Bay. But just the fact that they won their very first under Lou was exciting for him.
Well, you know, he's a competitor. He wants to win. Now, he knows that he's got a very difficult situation down here. It's going to take tremendous amount of patience for this team to grow. But, look, you never get that competitive edge off. I mean, he wants to win every game he possibly can. And to watch this team that he's been with for 6 weeks in spring training and try to develop a team that's going to be here on opening day, to watch that team come back and win in that fashion last night, even a guy that's been around as long as Lou, that makes him feel good.
Now the Red Sox looking to bounce back after last night's tough loss, and of course there are those who will forget that it was Ugi Urbina who gave it up last year against the Toronto Blue Jays on opening day at home at Fenway Park, a game that Grady Little and the Red Sox lost 12-11 at Fenway. And then, of course, Ugi Urbina was on the mound when the Red Sox had a 4-0 lead against Tampa Bay in the nightcap of a doubleheader, and Tampa Bay came back and won it. So there's two sides to this as well.
Well, you know, but it couldn't have come at a worse time for the Red Sox. You know, I mean, all this talk all season, off season long, and during spring training about bullpen by committee, and the first time that you get a chance to see it, it blows up. So
worst case scenario.
Absolutely the worst case scenario. So, you know, Grady was smiling today, and, you know, things are going to be different. And, you know, I'm certain they are going to be different in time. But as far as timing goes, it wasn't the best of times.
Well, the Devil Rays take the field tonight, and they are led by Victor Zambrano, their starting pitcher. Let's take a look at the visiting Boston Red Sox starting lineup. Johnny Damon leads it off in center field. It's Todd Walker at second base. Omar Garcia-Parra bats third at shortstop. Manny Ramirez in left in the cleanup spot. David Ortiz making his Red Sox debut at first base. Shea Hillenbrand at third base. Enjoyed a fine evening last night. Jeremy Giambi back in there as the DH batting seventh. Trot Nixon in right eighth. And Doug Mirabelli does the catching. He bats ninth.
The Devil Rays made a couple of errors in that game last night, really early in the game, that hurt them. It'll be Aubrey Huff at third base. Ray Ordonez the shortstop. Alan Anderson gets to start at second tonight, and Travis Lee at first. Left to right, last night's hero, Carl Crawford. Rocco Baldelli had his first major league hit last night. He'll be in center. Damian Rolls in right. Toby Hall behind the plate. And on the mound, Victor Zambrano. Now, Zambrano was a relief pitcher until the end of last season. He made 11 starts, all of those at the end of last year after August 5th, and did very well. As a matter of fact, Don, there's a lot of people on this Devil Ray organization that think Zambrano has the best stuff of any Tampa Bay pitcher on their roster.
Take a look at the four-man umpiring crew for tonight's game. Mike Everett has the plate. Hunter Wintelstead at first. Dan Iasanya at second, and Charlie Relaford is the umpire at third.
Take a look at tonight's game notes brought to you by New England Toyota dealers. The Red Sox 28-18 when Wakefield has followed a Pedro start. That's one of the reasons they have him in this position tonight. Ramirez 323, 10 home runs, 31 career games here at Tropicana Field. And last night the Devil Rays their first win at home against the Red Sox. Well, in a long, long time.
It was really amazing that last year the Red Sox never lost here at all. And losing last night, the first game of the year. Here's Johnny Damon to lead things off. Damon was 0 for 4 last night with a walk in the first game of the season. Victor Zambrano a year ago, 8-8 with 5.53 earned run average. And of course, the 42 overall appearances. He made 11 starts for the Devil Rays. He is one of the guys that they are looking to in the future, as the ball has come out onto the field in center field. So Zambrano Looks out towards center where Rocco Baldelli went back to get the ball. Over the outside corner, and it evens up at 2-2.
That fastball from Zambrano, that's a sailing fastball that'll go away from left-handed hitters. Two-seam fastball.
On the ground and outside of first, down by Dallas Williams, the first base coach, and a fractured bat for Johnny Damon, so he has to go get a new one.
Zambrano, he'll be about low 90s with his fastball. He'll move it in and out to sink it on occasion. He will also throw that breaking ball and a changeup, but basically his best pitch is his fastball.
Well, the Devil Rays have now won 4 opening days in a row, as they've been hot in that category. Down the first base line for Travis Lee. Ranges back and takes care of out number 1. Where available, today's broadcast can be heard in Spanish by using the SAP function on your TV set.
Buenas noches.
You know Spanish too?
A poquito.
Bilingual. Here's Todd Walker as Johnny Damon is fouled out for the game's first out. That would probably come in handy playing baseball with a lot of Spanish-speaking players in the clubhouse.
Absolutely, especially if you're a coach or a manager today.
Walker lifts it in the air to left center field. Rocco Baldelli back to the dirt of the track to bring it in. Walker gives it a ride, but he's out number 2.
They have been shading Todd Walker to the opposite field. Baldelli has been playing him to the shortstop side of second base. He's pretty much straight up in the infield, but shading him the other way, and he was in perfect position to make that play.
So 2 down, and it brings up Nomar Garciaparra. Nomar was 2 for 5 last night, had a pair of singles, and did not drive in a run last night for the Red Sox. Garciaparra now 29 years of age, ready for his 7th full major league season.
Let's go, Mama!
Inside out swing that ends up foul down the right field line, and Nomar's in the hole 1-2.
Sounded like a broken bat. I believe Zambrano broke 2 of Johnny Damon's bats in that first at bat. Good sign of a good moving fastball.
Nomar lays off, and it evens up. Well, we saw a very nice outing last night from Joe Kennedy, who got rattled in the first inning, had some bad defense in behind him, and then settled in quite nicely. Did not factor into the decision, as Seth McClung out of the bullpen picked up his first major league victory last night, and really was quite impressive in the 2 innings that he worked. Chad Fox dealt the loss last night. A tough swing from Nomar. Marlon Anderson on the outfield grass from second base. 1, 2, 3 go the Red Sox on the top of the first. D-Rays coming up. Back in Tampa Bay, the Red Sox don't score in the top of the first. D-Rays coming up. They are led by their left fielder, the hero of last night's game, Carl Crawford, who leads it off. Rhode Island's Rocco Baldelli bats second. Aubrey Huff at third. Travis Lee at first base. Al Martin is the DH. Toby Hall does the catching. He bats sixth. Marlon Anderson at second base. Damian Rolls in right, and Ray Ordonez the shortstop. And Tim Wakefield on the mound. 11-5 record a year ago for Wakefield. The nifty 2.81 earned run average. And opponents were held to just a 204 batting average a season ago. He's had great success here at Tropicana Field. 21-year-old Carl Crawford, the hero of last night's game, and a terrific comeback last night if you're a D-Rays fan. To left, and Ramirez kind of wandered back but still hauled it in for the inning's first out.
Take a look at the defense tonight for the Red Sox. Shea Hillenbrand at third base, Nomar at shortstop, Todd Walker at second, and David Ortiz gets his first start at first base. Left to right, Manny Ramirez, Johnny Damon, and Trot Nixon. Doug Mirabelli will be doing the catching behind the plate. As a matter of fact, he'll probably catch the majority of Wakefield games.
It's got to be good for Doug to know when he is going to catch exactly so he can kind of plan on it, I would imagine. There are a great many catchers that are kind of thrust into the day after a night game type scenario, which you can always anticipate, but sure, it's good to know when you're going to go.
Don, you touched upon Wakefield's record against the Devil Rays. 6-1 against Tampa Bay with 3 saves, but right here at the Trop, 3-0 with an 0.92 ERA.
Baldelli chops it left side. Garcia Parra sidearm, but not in time. The big high hop, and Baldelli got down the line very well.
Yeah, he can run. We watched him last night run the bases, and I'll tell you what, he's really got good speed. Nomar had to wait for that big high hop, and by the time he gets to the first base, Baldelli beats it easily. Watch him go down that line.
So his first major league hit last night off Pedro Martinez, and now an infield hit off Tim Wakefield in the first inning tonight. Here's Aubrey Huff, the third baseman. Huff was 1 for 4 in the first game of the season.
He's only got 2 career hits against Wakefield, but both of those hits home runs.
Red Sox infield a double play depth with 1 away as that flutters down and in. 2-0. Tim made 45 appearances last year, 15 starts, and ended up with the 11-5 record. He was second in the American League in opponents' batting average, holding opponents to just a .204 average, and lefties to just a .195 average. Infield's falling behind here, 3-0.
Yeah, instead of going that fastball on the 2-0 count, he tried the curveball, couldn't get over for a strike. 2 for 16, but 2 home runs.
The best stretch of last year for Wakefield was when he won 4 straight starts from September 1st through the 17th. And what was a great stretch? This is not a good stretch as he walks Aubrey Huff on 4 pitches, and the Devil Rays have 2 on with 1 away.
Even on the 3-0 count, the Wakefield goes to the curveball to try to get a strike. So did not want to give in with a fastball at all in that at bat to Aubrey Huff.
So Baldelli at second, Huff at first, and here's Travis Lee. He's 1 for 4 and scored a run last night. Out after the first pitch and lifts it to shallow left field. Ramirez wandering in. He'll take care of it. So there's 2 outs in the inning, and the base runners return to their bags. Baldelli back to second, Huff to first. 2 down.
Have a slightly smaller crowd here today, Don, than we did yesterday.
Just a tad. There was 34,000 plus here last night, and I guess there's somewhere 12 to 14, maybe more than that tonight. I don't know. Tough to tell. The upper deck is open as Martin fouls it off in that general direction off the left side. But last night there was a good amount of folks up there in that upper deck. Not tonight.
Yeah, usually they close that thing, but they do have some scattered fans up in the third tier tonight.
I got to be honest, I don't ever remember it being open for any of the games we were here last year for. But last night it was open. It is open tonight, but only the first few rows up there being used. Off the glove of Ortiz, diving at first base. Baldelli's going to come around and score. They will try Aubrey Huff as well. The throw coming from right is not in time, and the Devil Rays plate 2 and lead it 2-0.
Well, one of the other major concerns for the Red Sox, other than the bullpen, has been the fact of defense at first base. Now, here's a case where Ortiz, making his first start, cannot catch the ball, but he can't even knock it down right there to stop a run from scoring. If you knock the ball down, you're probably not going to get a run coming in. Once it gets by him, 2 runs come by to score.
So a double for Al Martin and a pair of RBIs as the Devil Rays on top 2-0 out of the gate. And here's their catcher Toby Hall with Al Martin at second base and Wakefield working from the stretch. Toby Hall last night was 0 for 4. Shared some time last year with John Flaherty, who is no longer a member of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and Hall now the everyday catcher for the Devil Rays, and he took a hack at that one. Finds himself in the hole, 0-2.
That play down at first base, Don, you know, first base was made for a left-hander, with the exception of that one play where you have to go toward the line because that's where you have to cross over and make that dive. That's the toughest play they have to make.
All strikes out in the bottom of the first inning comes to an end, but not before the Devil Rays put 2 across. We played 1 from Tampa Bay, 2-0 Devil Rays.
2 complete from Tampa Bay. The Devil Rays have the 2-0 lead. Well, it won't be long before the Red Sox make their 2003 Fenway Park debut, and tickets still available for the Red Sox opening week games of April 15th, 16th, and 17th. Each day the Red Sox have a gift for each fan. Red Sox calendars on the 15th, the new blue and red caps on the 16th, and sports bags on the 17th. Tickets are available 24 hours a day at 617-482-4SOX at redsox.com or during business hours at Fenway Park. We got to trim that one down a little, Don.
You're going as fast as you can, too.
I'm out of breath.
You're out of breath. Trot Nixon looking for his first hit of the season as he was 0 for 4 last night. The Red Sox with an error last inning proved not to be costly. That is one area of concern. Certainly last year, you take a look at the Red Sox defensively. Shea Hillenbrand with 23 errors at third base. Nomar with 25 at short. They led the league in their respective positions. That's the left side. The right side this year is all new. Without Ray Sanchez, you have Todd Walker and a cast of characters at first base, but certainly that has to be a concern.
We'll see how it plays out, Don. Only 161 left to go.
3-1 to Nixon. And Trot works the walk. The Red Sox have the lead man on for the first time tonight. Second walk given up by Zambrano.
Number 28, Doug Mirabelli.
There's Doug Mirabelli, who did not catch last night. Jason Varitek had the catching duties last year in 57 games, hitting at .225. And 7 home runs for Doug, down from his production the year before. Had a chance to play a lot more the year before. Of course, the fractured elbow for Jason Varitek. And really the reason that Doug Mirabelli coming to the Red Sox from the Texas Rangers. Jason Varitek had a fine first night of the season with a pair of doubles last night from the number 9 spot.
I think they're going to split games in this series. I think Varitek's going to catch tomorrow, and then Mirabelli will catch the day game, final game of this series on Thursday.
I checked the weather, by the way, today in Baltimore. This weekend's going to be beautiful.
70s.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Which is a far cry from their opening day snow shower that they had yesterday against the Indians. 1-2 to Mirabelli. Nixon at first. Zambrano with a 2-0 advantage, working here into the top of the third inning. He was the first graduate of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays minicamp. Of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays minicamp that they had in 1996. He was the first guy to come from that to reach the major leagues. Down the line and outside at third. I guess from what I understand, it was kind of like the Kansas City Royals camp in which they took some players from. Of course, Frank White made that very famous in the Royals organization, but they tried the same kind of thing here at Tampa Bay, and Victor is the first guy and maybe the only guy to get to the major leagues.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Lou Gorman
Yes.
that got that started for the Kansas City Royals. And you're right, Frank White, the most notable, I should say, to come out of that.
A 1-2. Popped up by the catwalk. It will elude the catwalk. Over is Aubrey Huff, and he makes the catch for the inning's first out. You never know here at the Trop when it goes up what it is going to hit exactly, but that one didn't hit anything except for Aubrey Huff's glove.
Yeah, the ground rules are tough, but if it hits these final 2 catwalks here, it's a home run. Other than that, when you get up dealing with these 2 in this area, it's a whole different ballgame.
We've seen that.
You can play the ball off the catwalk. You can have ground rule doubles. But the final 2 definitely home runs.
So which one, if you recall, was Shea Hillenbrand's that he
I
hit
believe
it
was up. Woo.
Here is the top of the order, Johnny Damon, who fouled out his first time.
Yeah, I believe it was that second one that's up there, Don. Not the newly renovated, But this one right here is where Hillenbrand, not quite in center field, but more toward left field.
Okay, with the pinch hit grand slam here last year. Ooh, nicely framed by Toby Hall, long enough for Mike Everett to call it a strike. 1-1. Damon fouled out to the first baseman Travis Lee in the first inning. Was the Kingdome, which I know you played a lot in, did it have as many of these rings going up? And
No, not at all. It was just a concrete roof. The two ballparks where it comes in play most, obviously here and also the Metrodome in Minnesota, the speakers.
Nixon is off, and it's carved foul off the left side. Minnesota is very strange to me in that they have those holes up there that look like baseballs on the top of the roof. So when you look up there, it looks like there's 1,000 baseballs in the sky.
Well, they're trying to make it as difficult as possible for any defensive club, you know.
But they got to play there too. But here it just seems like these catwalks.
He's got a lot of junk here, you know, a lot of stuff.
Damon turns on this and sends it up towards that stuff up the right side, now to play.
I think it hit some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it hit some of the lights up there. There's stuff all over the place, though. You got the lights, you got some stuff here, all kind of stuff.
Take forever to get to the middle. If you were to walk the ring from where it starts to get to the middle of the top, it could take you quite a long time.
What are you talking about?
Okay, if you start at this railing out there in center field, you go all the way up to the top. Oh, maybe not. You don't have to go all the way around. Look at that. See, I thought you had to go all the way around all these rings to get to the top.
Oh, good.
Apparently, you can just cut all that off and go right to the top from the side. Never mind. Throw to first and back in time is Dixon. Oh. There goes Nixon. Damon chops it. Not out of the reach of Lee, but he can't do anything with it. Had to duck back. He was in on the grass defensively and had to go back. Was able to get a glove on it. But Damon able to reach Nixon up to second base with one down.
Yeah, Travis Lee is a very good defensive first baseman. He almost made a great play on this. The one thing he did do by at least getting to the ball, he kept Nixon from going to third base. That ball looked for sure like it was going to be over his head and probably out there into right field. Instead, he knocks it down, and the Red Sox end up with runners at first and second.
Here's Todd Walker, hit the ball well his first time up, sending it to the track in left center field. Rocco Baldelli was back there to make the catch. Todd had his first hit in a Red Sox uniform last night and now is 1 for 5 on the season.
Here we go, Red Sox. Here we go.
Here softly to right, rolls, froze for a moment, now comes on hard. He had to. Got kind of a bad read on that one. I think a little bit faked out by the swing, but it's out number 2.
Now, had that been Ben Grieve in right field, that might have dropped in for a hit. He doesn't have the foot speed of a Damian Rolls. Rolls did freeze out there in the outfield, but then he had the good enough speed to be able to come back in to make the play. Grieve not in the lineup because he's had terrible luck against Wakefield.
So Damian Rolls getting the start. He takes care of Todd Walker. 2 down. Nixon at second, Damon at first, and here's Garciaparra. Popped out to second base his first time. He fouls the first one back. Victor Zambrano in his 3rd season in the major leagues and with Tampa Bay. First year was 2001. All of his appearances out of the bullpen. There were 36 of them. And he was 6-2 his first season in the majors as Nomar spirals out of the way. Highest batting average with 2 outs, runners in scoring position last year. Miguel Tejada the best. In the air to left center field. Baldelli is running, still going. It is up and off the wall. Nixon will score. Johnny Damon coming around. A 2-run wall ball double for Garciaparra. We're all tied at 2.
See, that's the difference to me this year as compared to last year with Garcia-Parra. That ball, again, is jumping off his bat. That wrist 100%. That was a changeup. Nomar hit that real hard right at the bottom of the wall in center field. And with 2 outs, the Red Sox tie this ball game up. The ball all spring has really been jumping off the bat for Garcia-Parra, both pulling the ball and going the other way to the gap.
Here is Manny Ramirez, who grounded out to second base his first time. It just appears Nomar a lot stronger at this time this year than he was a year ago, coming off the wrist surgery. Rolling away to Ramirez, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, that was a changeup that Garcia-Parra hit. He hit that ball hard, providing all his own power.
So Nomar with 56 doubles a year ago has doubled here to drive in a pair. RBIs 1 and 2 on the season for Garcia-Parra. Now Zambrano with the 1-1. He chops it foul above the Red Sox dugout on the third base side. So the 2-0 advantage of Victor Zambrano and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays had compiled is by the boards, thanks to that man with a 2-out 2-run double. 2-2 now to Manny.
Manny got a new shipment of bats in this afternoon. You can see he's using one there tonight. He certainly has different styles, but the ones he got today were about 34 to 35 ounces. That's heavy.
Wow. Pops it up a mile high, up by the top of the trot. In behind the mound, and Ordonez didn't see it, made the late recovery, tumbles and makes the catch to retire the side. The Red Sox grab 2. We're done with 2.5, and we're all tied at 2. Back at Tropicana Field, where the Red Sox and Devil Rays played game 2 of the series. The Devil Rays had the 2-0 advantage, but the Red Sox are back in the third inning. Nomar Garcia-Parra with his wall ball double. That drives in a pair to tie the score at 2. Still tied at 2 as we get ready for the last of the fourth inning. Tim Wakefield, 3 innings, 2 runs. Put up 3 hits, walked 2. He struck out 3. Zambrano getting out of a major jam. Red Sox leaving them loaded in the top of the fourth inning. On now to the last of the fourth inning, bottom third of the Devil Rays order. Marlon Anderson, Damian Rolls, and Ray Ordonez to face Tim Wakefield. Anderson has 1 of 3 strikeouts that Tim Wakefield has tonight. And on the grass at third is Shea Hillenbrand a few steps in.
One of the few times tonight that Wakefield's given in with a fastball when he's been behind in the count.
Drops in there for a strike. 2-2. Marlon Anderson made his debut last night for the Devil Rays as a pinch hitter in the 9th for Ordonez, and he walked on 4 pitches really to continue that game-winning inning for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays last night. And of course scored on the home run by Carl Crawford. He signed a 1-year deal with Tampa Bay after 8 seasons in the Philadelphia Phillies organization. Was on quite a stretch actually for the Phillies. 4+ years in the big leagues with the Phillies. Took over at second base after Philadelphia traded Mickey Morandini to Toronto in August of 2000. Really walks again. Walked last night, and he walks here in his second at bat. Lead off the fourth inning. He's aboard. It is the first time tonight that the Devil Rays have had the lead man on. Time now for the Aflac Trivia question and answer. Who's the only Tampa native in the Baseball Hall of Fame? And the answer is Al Lopez. He was inducted in 1977. 1,410 wins as a manager.
It's a hotbed for managers. Lou Piniella from the area, Tony La Russa.
The walk given up by Wakefield is the 3rd of the night for Tim. He now has to deal with Damian Rolls, who grounded out to shortstop his first time.
Well, expect Lou to try to get Anderson on the move if he feels he can get a jump. And Ellis said they're going to do a lot of stealing, hit and running, try to manufacture some runs. And, of course, for the knuckleball pitcher, they always try to run.
A little speed for Marlon Anderson. 30 stolen bases and 40 attempts. Bluffed at first, didn't go. That's in their first strike, 1-1.
See, Wakefield, he gets the ball home quickly. He's got a quick delivery to home plate, but it's the knuckleball, so it's 50-50, you know, whether the catcher's going to be able to catch the thing and then, of course, make the throw to second base. Not a real big lead over at first base there for Anderson.
Able to get back pretty easily. Pinella hoping for 70 victories this year. Kind of a moderate goal for Lou, but he figures this team can compete perhaps in 2005 is what he is envisioning here. Damian Rolls bending back out of the way. 2-1.
Well, if you sign a long-term contract, you can say those things. You know, we're on the 5-year plan, we're on the 10-year plan, depending on how long the contract is.
If you're on a 1-year deal and you say, you know, I think we're going to compete in 2005.
Nah, no good. No good. That doesn't work.
There goes Anderson at first. The pitch is a strike. Mirabelli guns down, and it's not in time. Marlon Anderson makes a theft to second base. He's in scoring position.
That was just a matter of time till Anderson felt like he could get the good jump. Now, this is a good throw by Mirabelli. Anderson takes a peek back, the head first slide, and he'll just barely beat it.
Rolls waiting on the 2-2. Yeah, that one over him as he's able to duck back down out of the way. Damian Rolls spent all of last year at AAA. The year before he made the opening day roster in 2001, and this year he was the leading hitter this spring for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Fresh off a spring in which he hit .429. Popped up. David Ortiz calling. Here's out number one. Anderson remains at second base.
It looked like in that swing that Rose was still trying to take the ball the other way with the man at second base. Just jammed himself and popped it up. Well, now with the one out, now you have to be concerned about the possible steal of third base. Ideally, you like to, if you're a base stealer, get there with that one out so you can score on a sacrifice fly.
Anderson with his walking leadoff second. Ray Ordonez reached on an error his first time. Really hacks at that one, but it is a foul ball.
That would be a good description of that swing, Don.
A hack?
A hack.
Looked like he was using an axe. Ordonez, a three-time Gold Glove Award winner, 97 through 99. Holds 6 National League fielding records, including most consecutive errorless games by a shortstop in one season. He won 100 games in '99 without committing an error for the New York Mets. And from '96 through last year, 2002, he owned the highest fielding percentage among all National League shortstops. But he is not known for his offense. He's on the hold 0-2.
He is known for those highlight defensive plays, though. How you see him make those plays as he goes down on his knees and a lot of flash.
Had the chance to watch him at Double-A the first time he came through the Mets organization.
You had a chance to watch everybody.
Pretty much everybody that's in the major leagues right now, Jerry, I've seen. And he was one of them. The 0-2. One hopper out of the reach of Garcia Parra to left center field. Marlon Anderson will come around, and the Devil Rays are back on top again. They lead it 3-2. He may not be known for his bat, but this time as he was, he puts one across to put the Devil Rays on top.
Yeah, the bottom of the lineup doing trouble here. Trouble caused by the walk to Anderson, the stolen base. And now right back up the middle, hit hard and by the dive of Garciaparra. And the Devil Rays take the 3-2 lead as Anderson works his way around the home plate.
Ordonez will be held on by David Ortiz at first, the bottom of the order. Pushing across the go-ahead run for the Devil Rays. Carl Crawford will take strike one. Crawford singled to center field his last time up.
Well, we'll see if Lou tries the same game plan here with Ordonez at first base. Not as good speed, but still might take that chance on the stolen base.
On the grass at third is Shea Hillenbrand.
Did you see that lead by Ordonez? That couldn't have been more than 2 feet off the bag. I don't know if there's some rule going around baseball. You have to take short leads this year, but I mean, there have been some real small ones over there.
Maybe it's just an in-house Tampa Bay rule.
Look at this lead.
A strikeout for Wakefield. So Crawford goes lunging. 4 strikeout for Wakefield. And there's 2 outs in the inning.
Center fielder, number 5.
Wake stays ahead and then probably puts Crawford away with a knuckleball. That's nasty. That ball just dropped and looked like it hit Mirabelli off the shin guard.
Well, one 21-year-old Tampa Bay outfielder is out. Here's another 21-year-old Tampa Bay outfielder, Rocco Baldelli, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the first inning and scored. Grounded out to second base in the second inning.
Well, you know, you watch Ordonez take that lead. You got to wonder, I mean, how many times has he been picked off in his career? It looks like he's afraid.
Little gun shy.
Yeah, to take a lead. 1, 2.
That's it.
That's it.
No, that's all he needs. In the air to shallow left. Garciaparra out. Ramirez now coming in. And Manny makes the catch to retire the side. But the Devil Rays push across the go-ahead run. We played 4 from Tampa Bay. Devil Rays on top 3-2. Through 4, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays lead it again. It is now 3-2 Devil Rays. It's on to the 5th inning. Some fans from Cambridge, Massachusetts on hand here. Flossie Diggs.
Who do you think Flossie is? The dog?
I don't know. I guess. I thought they were maybe referring to your clothing.
Might be Flossie the dog. I don't know.
I don't know.
Cambridge. God's country.
Maybe they're referring to the renovations here at Tampa Bay's Tropicana Field.
Cambridge also the home of the oil baron, you know.
Really?
You've heard me speak of the oil baron before.
I don't remember that, no. What is the oil baron?
Big oil man out of Cambridge.
Opposite field. Base hit to left for Todd Walker.
Well, stay tuned after the game for W.B. Mason's Extra Innings, New England's Red Sox postgame show. Extra highlights, extra interviews, and extra analysis. After the last inning, the action is just beginning.
Here's Nomar, doubled in 2 runs in the 3rd inning. Nomar 1 for 2 tonight. First 2 RBIs of the season. And he grounds this out of the reach of Aubrey Huff down the line. Walker is headed for third as it's gathered by Carl Crawford in foul ground. Into second base with his 2nd double tonight goes Nomar Garciaparra.
Well, Zambrano's been no problem for Garciaparra. That ball running back in on his hands. He's still there. The amazing thing to me about Garciaparra, he almost always gets the good part of the bat on the ball, regardless of where the pitch is. Now that pitch was running back in on his belt buckle, still pull the hands in far enough to get the barrel of the bat on the ball. Nomar does not break many bats at all because he always gets it on the good part of the bat.
A single and a double to begin things in the top of the 5th inning has instant action now in the Tampa Bay bullpen as Zambrano works into his 5th inning. Manny's 0 for 2. Ramirez grounding out to second base in the 2nd. He popped out to shortstop in the 3rd. carves it foul off the right side. 1-1. We say up in the Tampa Bay bullpen. Jackknife back out of the way. 2-1. Devil Rays struck first tonight with 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Red Sox came back on the 2-run double by Nomar Garciaparra to tie it at 2. Tampa Bay got another run in the bottom of the 4th. They lead it 3-2 with the Red Sox threatening. And Ramirez again has one come in tight. Didn't offer. It's under Wintelstead. Walker at third, Garciaparra at second. Chop towards second base. Anderson on the high hop has only one play, and he makes it to get Ramirez, but in the back door comes Walker from third, and the Red Sox have tied the game. Garciaparra moves over to third base with one away.
Well, there are certain outs that are called productive outs, and that is certainly one by Manny. Moving the ball to the right side on the ground. Infield back. You get the run home. You also get Garciaparra to third base now with the one out. So, you know, if you're going to make out, always good to make a productive out, and that's what Manny did there. Teammates appreciate that.
First RBI of the year for Manny Ramirez. No chance for David Ortiz. The Devil Rays bring the infield in all the way around. And Zambrano misses up and away.
Now Zambrano's pitch count a little bit high, up almost to 100. You thought maybe Blue would go get that lefty to face Ortiz.
Evans up at 1-1 to Ortiz. Zambrano was 8-8 a year ago. He made 11 starts for Tampa Bay. Tonight getting the nod as the #2 starter for the Devil Rays. Tomorrow night we'll see Jim Parquet go up against Derek Lowe, game 3 of the series. We'll have it for you right here on NESN. Ortiz in the driver's seat, second straight hitter with a count of 3-1. Four to Ortiz, the 4th walk of the night for Victor Zambrano. It is the second time that Ortiz has been given a free pass.
You know, it's interesting. You looked at the numbers prior to the game. Ortiz had faced Zambrano one time, and that was a home run. And he has been very careful with him all night long, walking him twice. He did get him to strike out back in the 2nd inning. Pitchers don't forget.
Well, apparently Zambrano has not. Here's Chris Bosio, the pitching coach who had been out a few innings ago, and he's out there again. You have the right-handed hitting Shea Hillenbrand expected next, and then Giambi in behind him. So this seems to be a strategic conversation.
Now this will probably be his last hit, or maybe one way or the other, because you've got Giambi on deck, followed by Nixon, a couple of lefties, and Say obviously ready out in the bullpen.
Shea has been on base twice tonight. Walked in the 2nd inning, was hit by a pitch in the 4th. And Zambrano starts off behind. Red Sox with 5 hits in this one. 2 by Nomar Garciaparra. A pair of doubles tonight for Nomar. In the air to right field. Ducking back is Damian Rolls. Now comes in a few steps to make the catch. Here comes Nomar. The throw is cut off. Garciaparra's in, and the Red Sox lead it 4-3. First lead of the night for the Red Sox, who have had to play catch up twice tonight, but It's a 4-3 Boston lead.
Shea Hillenbrand, it hasn't been loud this inning, but it's been effective. Manny gets a run home on a ground ball, and now the sacrifice fly by Shea Hillenbrand. Hillenbrand now leads the Red Sox with 4 RBI.
Well, very good offensive spring for Shea Hillenbrand. And he's carried it into the regular season in his second start tonight. There's Jeremy Giambi, still looking for his first hit in a Red Sox uniform. Was 0 for 4 last night. He was 0 for 2 so far tonight. Zambrano staying in the game to face the left-hander. Bobby Say down to the bullpen, just looking on. Giambi hits it deep and far to right, and that's not coming back. A 2-run home run for Jeremy Giambi. Red Sox lead it 6-3. Giambi's first hit in a Red Sox uniform, a round tripper, and the Red Sox lead it 6-3.
Yeah, Giambi had some trouble last night, scuffling a bit tonight, and then all of a sudden the line drive home run. I was surprised to see Lou keep him in to face the left-hander. I thought once they made the out against Hillenbrand that was going to be it. One batter too late. There'll be a switch now.
So Pinella out to the mound to get Victor Zambrano, who has touched for 6 runs over 4 2/3 innings. He departs. And the left-hander comes on. We'll step aside, come back, tell you all about the new Devil Rays pitcher. Now 6-3 Boston. Well, the Red Sox, 4 runs in the top of the 5th inning. The 2-run shot for Jeremy Giambi. 6-3. Red Sox on top now. Time now for the Heineken What's on Tap. Still 2 games left in this series. Wednesday night at 6:30 will be on the air. 1:30 on Thursday on Nesson. And it is on to Baltimore for the second series of the year. Friday night on UPN 38 in the Boston area. Of course, outside of the Boston DMA, you can watch the game on Nesson. Saturday will be on an alternate channel, so check your local listings. And then the final game of that series against the Baltimore Orioles, where the Red Sox will have a day off on Monday. And then it is north of the border to Toronto. Take on the Blue Jays. Aubrey Huff to lead it off. Tim Wakefield now the owner of a 3-run advantage here in the 5th inning.
Well, it's a day for the Giambis. Jason Giambi with a couple of home runs for the Yankees. Jeremy Giambi picks up his first home run for the Red Sox.
Huff lays off, and it's 1-2. Well, the two get a chance to play against each other in spring training on 2 occasions. That's got to be a pretty special thing to be able to play with a brother. We talked to him about it a couple times during spring training. He thought perhaps they'd have the chance later in their careers, but it worked out in Oakland. Big swing from Huff. Swings and misses. Going to try to reach now as Mirabelli fires it down, and it's not in time. So a strikeout for Wakefield, but Huff will reach at first base.
Mirabelli got a pretty good carom off that wall, too, behind home plate. Got back to about where that Tampa Bay sign is on the grass, and he'll just barely miss getting Huff at first base. Makes a good throw, a good stretch there by Ortiz, but Huff will beat it.
Rolled up. Here's Travis Lee with Aubrey Huff at first base. Lee flied to left in the first, walked in the third.
Don, you've been having a little trouble with the talk back. I'm going to show you now what to do.
No. But see, I hit the button.
When you want to talk back, now go ahead. See, it works. See?
Yeah, but see, I did that.
You got to push that button down.
Yeah, well, I pushed the button down. It didn't work. As Travis Lee will take ball 2. See, because when usually I go to the talk back, we're talking about you. So I was about to do that. Wouldn't have been a good thing to do because apparently the talk back is not working. So you would have heard exactly what I was going to say.
That's not a good thing.
This is 3-0. Yeah.
I wish I would have come out over the air. That little button, though, make sure you push that button down.
I pushed it down. I'll try it again.
See, it works. It's every other one. That's in there for a strike. 3-1. Show me again.
Right.
How to push the button.
Push the button down. This is a button here. Talk back. Go ahead. Nothing.
See, now I'm back. When you push it. In the air to right field. This is struck very well. High and deep and very gone. Travis Lee with his first home run of the year, and the Devil Rays are back within a run. It's now 6-5.
Well, the one thing that a win last night and that comeback win does for the Devil Rays, it makes them believe that they can come back and win. So as soon as the Red Sox get a little gap in this game, get 4 runs in the 5th, they bounce back with a couple of their own. That looked to be a fastball that time from Wakefield. And Travis Lee did not miss it.
Here's Al Martin, who doubled in the first inning. He popped out to short in the third. His double in the first drove in a pair of Devil Rays, and at the time put Tampa Bay on top 2-0. So Wakefield has been touched for 5 runs tonight in 4+ innings. Popped up into shallow left. Garcia Parra out. Ramirez in, but it'll be Nomar for the inning's first out.
There's the catcher, number 24, Tony Ball.
Here's Toby Hall's done the same thing twice tonight. That strikeout as he goes out after the first one. Tim Wakefield, this is his 16th career appearance, 7th start against the Devil Rays. Overall 6-1 against Tampa Bay.
Boy, Toby Hall has not even been close to making contact on one of these knuckleballs.
Taking some pretty big cuts too.
He was 3 for 10 against Wakefield coming into the game with a home run.
Maybe he used this approach before as well, but not having the kind of success tonight. Jolts this one to left center field, but Damon is there for out number 2. Red Sox have action in the bullpen for the first time tonight.
Second baseman, number 8, Anderson.
Greg Timlin, who has enjoyed great success against Tampa Bay in his career. He's worked 7 innings of 2-hit shutout ball and 7 career relief appearances here in St. Petersburg. He's walked 1, struck out 6, and he is warming in the bullpen. Marlon Anderson walked his last time up, came around to score the 3rd Tampa Bay run. A big cut from Anderson. Wakefield has walked 3 tonight, 5 strikeouts. Reaching out and fouling it off is Anderson. Anderson getting the start at second base tonight. He and Brent Abernathy are going to share time at second base for Tampa Bay this year. Darts down low. 2-2. Tim Wakefield starting his 188th game for the Red Sox. And he's able to fan Anderson. The 6th strikeout for Tim Wakefield concludes the 5th, but it's a 2-run shot for Travis Lee. Brings Tampa Bay back within a run. 6-5 Boston. Bobby Say, who worked an inning as it turns out, still responsible for Johnny Damon at third. And the new pitcher, right-hander, hard-throwing, Jesus Colome.
Former member of the Oakland organization, Colome last year had an ERA of 8.27, but he's pitched very well against the Red Sox. 2 of his 4 career wins are against Boston. He's got an 0.69 ERA. Throws hard.
2 of the knocks against him is that he's a little bit on the wild side, A, and B, occasionally that fastball straightens out for him. Trying to work on a second pitch for the most part, but a lot of times you know what you're going to get from him as he faces Nomar. Really slings the gas. 1-0 to Garciaparra.
He almost got a wild pitch on that first pitch.
Nomar with a pair of doubles tonight. And his first 2 RBIs of the season. On the corner, Garciaparra looks back to find out that it's strike 1.
Colome slings that ball up to home plate at about 94, 95. A little uncomfortable for right-handers.
Last year, hitters at 341 against Jesus Colome. Omar Tardy on that cut, 1-2.
97 with that fastball. So he's just getting loose.
An 8.27 earned run average last year for the Rays. Most for major league relievers last year, the minimum of 40 innings. The 1-2. Omar lets it pass. 2-2. Damon at third, 2 down. Red Sox on top by a run. Well, the 2-2 to Nomar. Fouled off the right side.
Ooh, I think almost our friends from Cambridge up there got that one just a little bit short of the upper deck.
Toby Hall out to talk to Jesus Colome. Remember, third and Damon, still the responsibility of Bobby Say, the reliever who ended up working an inning, giving up a hit. It belonged to Johnny Damon, who's at third. This is power against power right here. Jesus Colome. A wiry right-hander against Nomar Garciaparra with 2 down. Wow. Nomar just got out of the way.
What do they call that? Jackknifing out of the way?
That was a jackknife if I've seen a jackknife. Colome getting the sign from Toby Hall. And the payoff pitch. Nomar takes ball 4. Colome wanted that one. Garciaparra heads down to first. Now Colome will try his luck against Manny Ramirez. That is the 5th walk tonight given up by Devil Rays pitching. Manny 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a pop out. And now 1 for 7 on the young season. Outfielders are pretty deep. Rocco Baldelli in center field is deep out there and playing for Manny to pull. Sends it out in the direction of Baldelli, who started back, now coming on. He won't recover. Damon is in. The ball gets away. Garciaparra is going to try and score. The throw to the plate's not in time. 2 runs are in. Manny stands at second, and the Red Sox lead it 8-5. Not a great read out of the gate for Rocco Baldelli.
No, that's a gift for the Red Sox right here. It should have been the 3rd out of the inning. Manny actually got jammed on that. He thought he was going to be out, but Baldelli broke back on it, and by the time he regrouped, did not have a chance to make a play. The relay throw from Ordonez went straight into the ground, and that allowed Garciaparra to score all the way from first base.
Red Sox now with a little bit more room on top 8-5. Their second 3-run lead in this game. And here's David Ortiz, who's been on base twice tonight via the walk after striking out in the second inning. Mike Timlin kind of waiting down in the Boston bullpen. He was ready a while ago, but has had to wait here as the Red Sox continue to bat. Here's Timlin looking to make his Boston debut after Tim Wakefield worked the first 5 innings tonight for the Red Sox. And it's 2-1 now to Ortiz. So Colomé walked Nomar, then the fly ball to center field. It probably should have been the final out of the inning. Leads to 2 additional runs. 1 charge to Bobby Say. So the book on Say closed. He worked an inning, giving up a hit, and he allowed a run.
Well, John, we don't generally see outfielders have problems with this roof, but tonight we have seen a couple of outfielders break back on fly balls and misjudge them early, and then in that case there, Baldelli couldn't catch up to it.
Damian Rolls and Wright did it earlier.
Yep.
And the most recent exhibition, Rocco Baldelli in center. Grounded towards Anderson at second. On to first and Travis Lee, and that'll do it. And the Red Sox come up with a pair of runs in the top of the 6th inning. On top 8-5 at the end of 5.5. We're ready for the last half of the 6th inning. Red Sox now on top 8-5. Tim Wakefield gone after 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. He walked 3 and struck out 6. And he debuted tonight in a Red Sox uniform for Mike Timlin.
Timlin beginning his 13th major league season. He's been with the Blue Jays, the Mariners, the Orioles, the Cardinals, and the Phillies. Last season with the Phillies and the Cardinals. Timlin has been a closer at times throughout his career. As a matter of fact, he has 114 career saves. A lot of those earlier in his career when he was with the Toronto Blue Jays.
The most he's ever had, 31 saves back in 1996 for those Blue Jays. He also had a 27 save season in 1999 with the Baltimore Orioles. Here's Damian Rolls, who has grounded to short and has popped out to first base. Tim Wakefield threw 92 pitches tonight, 52 for strikes. Timlin is 37 years of age. Jumps ahead 1-2. Timlin's first year in the major leagues was 1991. He came up with the Blue Jays. That first season was 11-6 in 63 appearances that season for the Toronto Blue Jays. Chop foul. 2-2 to Damian Rolls. Rolls will be followed by Ordonez, and then the top of the order, Carl Crawford, as the Devil Rays feature 8, 9, and 1 in their order here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 2-2 as Rolls continues to foul off some Timlin pitches.
A lot of similar pitches in that Red Sox bullpen. Timlin pretty much a sinker ball pitcher. Certainly Mendoza. Embry would be the only guy you would consider a strikeout type pitcher. Although Timlin does throw hard. I mean, he's up around 94, 95 miles an hour.
We've yet to see Howry, Woodard, or Brendan Lyon as of yet. The 2-2. Chopped left side. Deep in the hole from short. The long throw is very high and up and over Ortiz. So Damian Rolls will reach.
El Garcia-Parra, knowing that Damian Rolls can run, had to get rid of that ball as quick as possible over the top, way up over the head of David Ortiz. Now Ortiz is about 6'5", 6'6" at first base. Red Sox do catch a bit of a break as that ball caromed and did not go into the dugout.
So Rolls is at first and brings up Ray Ordonez. An infield hit rule for Damian Rolls, who stands at first base, held on by Ortiz. Ordonez from his number 9 spot has been on base twice tonight. Reached on the error committed by Walker in the second inning. Then he singled and drove in a run in the 4th inning. Last year, Mike Timlin made 72 appearances between the Cardinals and the Phillies. He's 1-3 with a 2.51 ERA in 42 games with the Cardinals before being dealt to the Phillies. He was dealt on July 29th as part of the Scott Rowland deal, which I'm not sure I'll ever understand why the Phillies gave up on Scott Rowland. For some reason did not mix very well with Larry Bowa. This is lined down the left field line and a fair ball towards the corner. And he'll go dig it out. Damian Rolls is running. He's coming around. And no throw from Garcia-Parra. The Devil Rays keep coming back. It's now 8-6 as they grab another run. Ray Ordonez with his second RBI, this time with a double. And the number 9 man has been productive for the Devil Rays.
Yeah, they've been pretty productive out of the bottom of the lineup. Rolls with a single. Now Ordonez with again on line drive all the way down to that left field corner. By the time Manny can chase it down, Damian Rolls all the way around from first base. So, you know, even though you one game into the season, after a game like last night, that puts immediate pressure on the bullpen. And you're going to have to see how they respond in this second game.
Back up to the top of the order. Carl Crawford is 1 for 3 tonight. His single in the second inning. And just a step on the grass at third is Hillenbrand. Just to sort of stay in the range of third base with Ordonez at second. Crawford, of course, with a dramatic home run last night in the 9th to win it for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. On the bunt, that one got up and in. He fouls it off. Last night, the 21-year-old outfielder Carl Crawford and Chad Fox. The Devil Rays in dramatic fashion. Their season opener, their 4th consecutive season opening win, and this time to the Red Sox. 10-0 last year against the Devil Rays here in Tampa Bay, but the Devil Rays getting their first win right out of the way. Line snared by Hillenbrand. Nice play by Shea. He was in on the grass, but was able to duck back and pull it in.
Yeah, it sounded like a broken bat down. I think that ball was right toward the end of the bat, and that slowed it up just enough for Hillenbrand to be able to make that play. You mentioned he's playing in the grass, protecting against the bunt. It's just one quick crossover step and catches that line drive before it heads down the line. That's definitely saving another run.
Brings up Rocco Baldelli. And his first major league hit last night off Pedro Martinez. Came back with a hit here tonight in the first inning. In his first at bat since then, he's grounded out and flied out. Look out. It'll send him down. Timlin up and in.
Well, always as a young player, you see how he responds to a pitch like this.
Chops it down the third base line, outside the line. And it's 1-1 to Baldelli.
Now, there are certain guys that play this game you just don't want to knock down because they get a little bit tougher after that.
Like Manny.
And the guy that comes to mind is Yastrzemski for me. They knock him down and he would just get up, dust himself off, and he was a very tough out after that. Other guys become very intimidated after getting knocked down.
Was Jerry Remy intimidated after he was knocked down?
Yeah, I wanted out of the game. I didn't want to play no more.
The 1-1 in there for a strike, 1-2. Rocco Baldelli, a former first-round pick, 6th overall in 2000 by the Devil Rays out of Bishop Hendricken High School in Warwick, Rhode Island. And the first Rhode Island resident to be selected in the first round since Billy Allman was chosen by the Padres back in 1974. And he strikes out. First strikeout for Mike Timlin, 2 down. After the double by Ordonez. Line out by Crawford, now a strikeout.
Yeah, inside. Then when he gets ahead, he goes away with the fastball to pick up the strikeout. So maybe that knockdown pitch worked in that particular at bat.
He's going to face a number 3 hitter in the Devil Rays order, Aubrey Huff. Reached on a wild pitch after striking out in the 5th inning. Came around to score on the 2-run home run by Travis Lee. Kind of a rabbit punch swing right there. That dusted that one off for you.
Dusted a couple of them off tonight.
Trying to mix them back in. The 0-1 chopped right side. Walker goes back to the outfield grass and throws out Aubrey Huff. So the Devil Rays get a run back on 2 hits in the inning. We played 6 from Tampa Bay. 8-6 Boston.
Y'all attention, please. Now pitching for Boston, number 46.
Well, we welcome everybody who is watching the Boston Bruins game back onto Nesson Everywhere. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. The Red Sox able to get a lead tonight in the 6th inning when Manny Ramirez sends this to center field. Rocco Baldelli started back and then comes in and can't make the play. The Red Sox scoring a pair and moved ahead at that time 8-5. It's now 8-6 as we get ready for the last of the 8th. Nomar's got 2 doubles tonight, 2 RBIs and 2 runs. Manny with a double, 3 RBIs, and Giambi his first Red Sox hit. A 2-run home run for Jeremy Giambi in a day in which his brother hit 2 home runs today for the New York Yankees. Tim Wakefield started with 5, giving up 5 runs. Mike Timlin has just departed after 2 innings, 3 hits. He gave up a run. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 1, and now Bob Howry into the game.
Of course, Howry coming to the Red Sox last year right at the trading deadline from the Chicago White Sox. 67 appearances overall. Beginning his 6th year in the major leagues in Chicago and, of course, now Boston.
You have a couple guys in Timlin and Howry who are used to making a lot of appearances, as Timlin has over the last few years and Howry has the last few years with the White Sox in his case. This is Damian Rolls, who is 1 for 3 tonight. Rolls reaching on an infield hit his last time up. He came around to score a run in the 6th inning, the only run that was charged to Mike Timlin tonight. Sent to right field, and that'll drop in for a base hit. Second hit of the night for Damian Rolls.
Now this part of the lineup has been a pain in the neck for the Red Sox. Damian Rolls, a couple of hits. Ordonez, 2 RBI tonight. Fastball and the inside-out swing by Damian Rolls to the opposite field for the hit. Well, here's Ordonez. How about that defensive play he made in last inning? That's one of the best you'll see all season long.
It was a hot shot off the bat of Nomar Garciaparra and a diving play by Ordonez. Because it was scalded, he had all kinds of time to get Garciaparra at first in the back end of the double play.
Yeah, once he got the glove on it, it was 2 after that.
Ordonez has had a fine night at the plate as well. 2 for 3 tonight, a single, a double, and 2 runs driven in. Very productive from the number 9 spot. Damian Rolls can run as Ortiz holds him on, and there he goes. Tough pitch for Mirabelli to deal with on the backhand, and he doesn't get him. Stolen base for Rolls has him in scoring position with nobody out.
Even 2 runs down late in the game, Luzga still got him going out there. Mirabelli had to make a backhanded play and pick it out of the dirt, and then the throw was just to the shortstop side of second base. By the time they swing that tag around, Rolls gets in with the head first slide.
Earlier 51% last year for Mirabelli, but not much of a chance there as Rolls now at second base. Ordonez with a count of 1-1. And there for a strike, 1-2 from Howry. Posting 37 saves for the White Sox in his first 2 major league seasons, including a career high 28 back in 1999. And that just misses.
Looks like he's handcuffed Mirabelli a couple of times, almost like Doug was crossed up.
Full count. Ordonez has been a pest tonight. 2 hits, 2 runs batted in. He's actually the 3rd Cuban-born player to wear a Rays uniform. He joins former Red Sox pitcher Orlando Arrojo and Jose Canseco. In the air to left, down the line. Oh my, by the pole. That ball is gone. And we're tied at 8. One of the more unlikely men of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays order is gone deep to tie the score. Another chapter in the Red Sox Tampa Bay battle. We're all tied at 8.
Well, the one thing you expect from Ordonez is the great defensive play that ended last inning. The thing you don't expect is this. Right down the left field line. What a night he's having. 3 hits, including this home run, 4 RBI, and some great defense. And once again, the Red Sox bullpen in a real battle late in the game.
Now Carl Crawford, last night's hero. He's got a hit tonight. He's 1 for 4, single to center back in the 2nd inning. Three for 4 tonight for Ray Ordonez.
Nobody loosening in the pen for the Red Sox.
Ordonez with 1 home run all of last season with the Mets. Back at Howry, knocked it down. He's got time, slings it late. Crawford can run.
Yep.
Initially looked like he may be able to get to it, but not in time.
Nah, and he's in a bad position to make a throw once he did get to it. And when you run like Crawford, no chance at all. Right back through the middle. Howry gets a glove on it, knocks it down, but it rolls off the side of the mound, and he just couldn't get turned around quick enough get the out. So the Devil Rays, nobody out, and the man on first base now. See if Baldelli is called the bunt by Lou. He's got a couple of options. He can go to the bunt. Crawford's got good speed at first base.
Action in the Boston pen. Mendoza up there, just hopped up.
Yep.
He is getting ready rapid fire in the bullpen right now. Baldelli was squaring as Lowry took a look. They're throwing over to first base. Here is Ramiro Mendoza, came on a scoreless inning last night in his Red Sox debut. Baldelli squaring again. Popped up. Red Sox get a break. Mirabelli will make the catch. Baldelli unable to get it down.
Yeah, in many ways a tough night for Baldelli. He messed that ball up in center field where he broke back. That gave the Red Sox a couple of runs and now pops up the bunt. So now the stolen base becomes more of an option for Piniella now that the bunt is taken out of play.
The Red Sox have had 2 3-run leads in this game, but we are tied at 8 in the last half of the 8th. Aubrey Huff at the plate. Huff 0 for 3 tonight with a walk. Struck out in the 5th but reached on a wild pitch. He has scored 2 runs. This is off the outside edge. Red Sox trying to get their first victory of 2003 and avoid falling to 0-2. For the first time since 1996, the Red Sox that year opened the season 0-5 in 1996. Some heroics last night, again tonight for Lou Piniella. Howard's been most concerned with Carl Crawford at first.
Well, some attention better be given to Aubrey Huff because he's the kind of guy that can quickly put one in the seats.
Now he's coming plateward. He'll miss. 2-0.
Now he's really got himself in a good count. 2-0. He can narrow his strike zone down. Look for something middle in.
Aubrey Huff started the year last year in the minor leagues. He led the Tampa Bay Devil Rays last year with 23 home runs. After starting in Durham. Runner is off. The pitch is strike. The throw down gets through. Walker able to back it up as it got by Nomar, and Carl Crawford stands in scoring position with 1 out of the inning. Second stolen base of the inning.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Don. And you know that's the way they're going to play baseball. They're going to try everything they can. What have they got to lose? Good job backing up by Walker. That at least leaves Crawford at second base.
Now they will intentionally walk Huff with first base open.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised after this intentional walk then to go get Mendoza, who is more of a ground ball pitcher with Lee coming to the plate. We'll see how great he plays it.
Here comes Grady Mendoza. Has been up for better than a batter out there in the bullpen, and he will be headed in. A leadoff single in the inning for Rolls. The 2-run home run for Ray Ordonez. Devil Rays have 2 on in the bottom of the 8th, and we're all tied at 8.
Well, back in Tampa, we're all tied at 8 as the Devil Rays have battled back in this inning to tie the ball game. Stay tuned after the game for W.B. Mason's Extra Innings, New England's Red Sox postgame show. Extra highlights, extra interviews, and extra analysis. After the last inning, the action is just beginning.
Bobby Howry has gone after working a third of an inning, giving up 3 hits. Of course, the 2-run home run by Ray Ordonez. Still responsible for 2 men on. And it is Ramiro Mendoza into the game, the 4th Boston pitcher.
Yeah, second appearance for Mendoza. 1 inning last night. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. And what they're looking for right now, his specialty, the ground ball for the double play.
Travis Lee hit a 2-run home run back in the 5th inning, his first in a Tampa Bay Devil Rays uniform. He bats with Crawford at second, Aubrey Huff at first. For 2 teams that have not been evenly matched over the years, there have been so many twists and turns in this series. To first base, Ortiz backs up, no play at second. He will run to the bag at first for the 2nd out. He took a look and then made sure the one at first for the inning 2nd out.
Well, now you're going to have to walk Martin, I would believe, with first base open, and then take your chances with the catcher Toby Hall. They're not going to get a double play there, that's for sure. Ortiz, if he goes to second, would have got the force play, and it would have been a 1st and 3rd situation. So now you're going to walk Martin with first base open, I would think.
That's what they will do. The 2nd intentional walk of the inning.
Now Lou has on the bench Grieve, but it looks like Toby Hall has come out on deck and he's going to let him hit.
Grieve was off tonight with Tim Wakefield on the mound. There's the completion of the intentional walk to Al Martin. This is loaded for Toby Hall, who will indeed bat for himself. Hall is 0 for 4 tonight. He has struck out twice and flied out twice. Crawford at third, Huff at second, Martin at first. Toby Hall, the 8th member of the Devil Rays to bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's up at 1-1.
Toby Hall had a very rough night against Tim Wakefield. Struck out a couple of times in a flyout. Lou's showing a little confidence in his young catcher here. He had some pinch hitting options.
He had some tough ABs up against Tim Wakefield earlier. Some bad swings. The 1-1 from Mendoza. Chopped towards short. Tough hop. Garcia-Parra gets it onto Walker for the force out to end the inning. But the Devil Rays come up with 2. Their shortstop, Ray Ordonez, homers to tie the game. On to the 9th, tied at 8. 8-8 the score, ready for the top of the 9th inning. The Devil Rays used their 5th pitcher of the night, Lance Carter, into the game. 8
games last year, you see, for the Devil Rays. This guy's had 2 Tommy John surgeries on his elbow, one in '96 and one in 2000. He is pretty much starting out this season as the closer for Tampa Bay.
Manny Ramirez doubled his last time up. There's 3 RBIs in the game tonight. Lance Carter, 2 wins and 2 saves. This is in the air. On the third base line for Aubrey Huff. Jumped to his left at the last moment, but Manny's out number 1.
The first baseman, number 34, David Ortiz.
Last year, Lance Carter holding opponents to a .203 batting average. David Ortiz has been on base twice tonight, 2 walks. Otherwise, he has struck out and grounded out.
second base, and Marlon Anderson, he's way back on the outfield grass at second base, giving himself a little bit more range. Of course, Ortiz does not run well.
And there for a strike, and Ortiz in the hole. Carter started off very well as he joined the Rays for the first time last September at a streak of 16 1/3 scoreless innings before Garcia Parra ended it with a home run on September 28th at Fenway. One and two to David Ortiz. First time Carter has been on an opening day major league roster. Two and two to Ortiz.
I'll tell you what, Mike Everett has been very tight with that outside corner all night long, but he has been consistently tight with it.
He went. Everett will ring him up. Ortiz didn't think so. He can't believe it. Everett didn't even check at third. I don't think the umpire made his own decision.
Yeah, he did. And I think all Ortiz wants to do is have him off the guy at third base, the umpire at third. He's not going to do it.
Looked like he was going to, and then he went up with the thumb. Rutherford shaking his head towards the Red Sox dugout as if he thought he went too.
Tough to tell from this angle here.
Hillenbrand has walked tonight, been hit by a pitch and a sac fly in the 5th. It popped out to first base in the 7th inning. Evans up at 1-1. Vince Carter is on for Travis Harper, who went 2/3 of an inning. Came on, and despite giving up a hot shot by Nomar Garcia Parra, Ray Ordonez at short started the 6-4-3 inning ending double play. And Ordonez has had an outstanding game for the Devil Rays, tying a career high with 4 RBIs. Last did it July 31st of last year. 4th career 4 RBI game for Ordonez. Carter a strike away from having a 1-2-3 ninth. Hillenbrand stays alive.
Fastball about 89. That changeup goes down to about 81. Not a huge difference, but it's been effective.
Carter, another guy from a nearby location from Bradenton, Florida, just down the road here from St. Pete. Towards left center field. Crawford on the move. Will get there on the run. Stumbled at the end, but got the job done. Hillenbrand and the Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the 9th. On to the bottom of the 9th. Tied at 8. Now we're ready for the top of the 16th inning. Nomar Garcia Parra to lead it off against Jorge Sosa. Line to left. Crawford on the move. Gets there. Slid a few steps to his right and towards the line, and Garcia Parra is out number 1. This is now the longest game in terms of innings for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in their franchise history. Previous high had been 15 innings against the Orioles, August the 4th of 2000. Kevin Millar, who came on and hit in the 14th inning and walked, bats for the 2nd time.
Now the Red Sox have had, if my scorecard is correct, 3 hits since Manny's double in the 6th inning.
That's correct. Tampa Bay has done a very good job out of the bullpen. Foul back off to the right, 1-1.
You know what the bad thing about this is? I miss Ted Coppa with his war helmet on out in the desert.
Ted's hair stayed remarkably still during the entire situation. 1-2 high and deep as Crawford heads back, looks up, Millar goes yard. Red Sox take a 9-8 lead in the top of the 16th inning. Welcome to Boston, Kevin Millar.
Well, Kevin Millar is fairly fresh. He didn't come into this game till late. And he got a breaking ball, probably the second best pitch from Sosa. And no question about this one when it left the bat. That's almost like doing you a favor. This guy throws 96, 97, threw him the breaking ball, gone.
Yeah, David Ortiz still looking for his first hit in the Red Sox uniforms. Been on base twice tonight, 2 walks. Popped up in the infield left side. Aubrey Huff. He steps to his left at the end, but it's good for out number 2. Now you got to figure that Ted Koppel has a hair guy with him traveling.
Well, we're happy right now that Kevin Millar did not go to Japan.
And I'm sure he is also. 2 down for Shea Hillenbrand. Shea singled in the 14th inning to get Millar to third base. The Red Sox could not score in the 14th. They have scored here in the 16th.
Look out.
Look out.
You know, in the last at bat, Hillenbrand, after getting a base hit, pointed to somebody or somewhere in the direction of the, I don't know if it was over the Rays dugout or it was in that direction. I don't know if some fan was getting on him and he was pointing at him after the hit.
Ripped right back where it came from. That's some satisfaction for Shea Hillenbrand, who rounds first. And a single to center. Back up the middle.
Yeah, that's the way to respond. There's no question about that. Hillenbrand gave him a long look, too, on the way down to first base.
Jeremy Giambi.
Right back up the middle with the line drive base hit.
Now Jeremy Giambi. Top that time.
Now, there's got to be more Red Sox fans here now than Tampa fans.
I don't think there's any question. Giambi homered in the 5th, walked in the 7th, and then was hit by a pitch in the 12th. So on base 3 times in the game tonight. Two and 1 to Giambi. If the inning does continue, Trot Nixon would be next as he waits on deck. All again framing it for Mike Everett, the home plate umpire.
Come on, Jeremy! Help the race fans get the home!
Strike 2 to Giambi. Sosa's been on since the 14th. Red Sox have emptied out their bullpen. John Burkett down there in case. And the strikeout for Sosa to conclude the top of the 16th inning. Kevin Millar has hit his first home run in a Red Sox uniform, and the Red Sox lead it 9-8 as we head to the bottom of the 16th inning. Kevin Millar with a home run has put the Red Sox on top 9-8 into the bottom of the 16th inning. And Brandon Lyon out there for his 3rd inning of relief. Rocco Baldelli, Aubrey Huff, and Travis Lee, the expected hitters for the Devil Rays. Hillenbrand guards the line at third. You doing calisthenics in between innings up here? You had
trying to get loose. Trying to get loose.
Jumping jacks in the booth in between innings. Brandon Lyon has looked very good since coming on.
Yes, he has. Threw the ball well all of spring training.
He's 23 years of age. Steve Woodard as well. Really the last two men on the Red Sox staff to be picked at the end of spring training, and they've both been big contributors tonight.
Seems strange, a guy that really with not a lot of professional experience claimed off waivers from Toronto.
The 1-2 to Baldelli. Grounded by the mound. Walker ranging to his right. He's got to hurry up, and he doesn't get it there in time. I'm amazed at how quickly Baldelli gets down the line.
Yeah, and you know what? He gets out of that box quick. I mean, for a right-hander. He's been wearing out Walker at second base tonight. Walker has to go to his right. Watch Baldelli get out of that batter's box quick, almost like a left-handed hitter. And you know every play is going to be bang, bang, and he's beat him tonight.
He has 3 hits. They are all infield hits. So he's had to leg the ball out. Here is Aubrey Huff. And first to check on Baldelli at first. Tampa Bay able to get the lead man on for the first time since the 10th inning, when this gentleman, Aubrey Huff, doubled to begin that inning. And then was thrown out at third base. This is only the second base runner that Brandon Lyon has had to deal with. As Toby Hall had doubled in the 14th inning, the only other hit off Brandon Lyon. Strike to Aubrey Huff. Travis Lee waits on deck.
Yep, to get through this one, he's going to have to get through the big part of the lineup. Huff, Lee, and then Grieve.
Sliced foul off the left side. It's 0-2.
Tim Wakefield, starting pitcher. He's been back in, iced his arm, and has watched the rest of this game from the dugout.
Worked 5 innings tonight, giving up 5 runs a very long time ago. Here to shallow right field. Walker moving back to the outfield grass, and a little duck there at the end, but he's able to make the catch. Back to first goes Baldelli.
Excellent pitch there by Brandon Lyon. A good changeup. Through the timing of Aubrey Huff just enough to get that pop up to second base.
So 1-out, 1-on. Here's Travis Lee. In his first home run of the year back in the 5th inning. A 2-run home run off Tim Wakefield. Well, later today, Derek Lowe will make his first appearance of 2003. As he will face Jim Parquet. With the first pitch at 7:15 later today. Ortiz tries to scoop it. He'll flip the line, who covers, and they get him. Nice play from Brandon Lyon. Ortiz stuck with it. Here comes Lou to argue.
You can expect this. It looked like Lyon jumped at the first base bag, and the question is, did he get back on that bag before the base runner got there? Travis Lee. Billy Hatcher didn't think so, the first base coach. Very brief for Lou. The bad news here is that runner does get into scoring position. Oh, I think he got it. I think that's a good call.
I think so too.
Yeah, it looks like he did come down and get the front of the bag before the base runner. Yes. He's lucky he didn't turn an ankle over.
No. think the jumping thing is what probably threw them off.
Yeah. But with that little bobble by Ortiz, that gets the runner in a scoring position.
Well, the Devil Rays have left 19 men on base. The Red Sox would like to hand them their 20th. There's Ben Grieve, bats with 2 outs. Potential tying run in scoring position.
They elect to pitch to left-handed Grieve with first base open. Toby Hall, who's on deck, has had a pretty good finish to this game. He's had 3 straight hits.
He's had a good second half.
Yes.
On the ground to Walker. Turns, fires to first, and the Red Sox have their first victory of 2003. It may have taken 16 innings to get it, but they do it here tonight, and the newcomer, Kevin Millar, has his present felt. A home run in the 16th inning to give the Red Sox the 9-8 victory here tonight in Tampa Bay.